we're just going to collapse on top of you and hope that you all die style of composition that Gen.G does have.
T1 kind of misread what Gen.G were looking for here. They banned the Aurora, don't want to lose the top lane, don't want to take away Doran's ability to get prio there. It's here, so they'll have time to reset and look for that as well. As Doran is continuing to put pressure on in this lane, but won't really find himself with a CS advantage. And the Camille, like I said before, is really just about team fights later on. Like he was down there, and I guess he just assumed they had enough to kill Doran. So he's like, I'm not going to waste my time coming over there to secure the kill. But because he doesn't show up, Doran does get away, is down his flash now, and is going to lose a plate here. But it was a dangerous moment there for Ruler topside. Hits level 6.
Yeah, that is going to be the stun onto Carrier. Ruler's still there, though, and does have a lot of damage. As the flash forward, and Ruler will find it, dashes after the Corki, and there is first blood, but it's for the Yunara.
And takes him out. Canyon gonna take this prio opportunity to start up grubs, grabs the first one. Any grub you can get for this Camille side lane is gonna feel fantastic, and it looks like they might just get all 3.
Yep, Canyon will be able to at least grab 2 of them with the help of Ruler, who does pick up a bit of extra money for that one. So far here for Gen.G, things going exactly the way that they want them to. Still hoping that he finds some more impact later into the game.
Look at this calculation here from Ruler, knowing he's going to hit 6 off this minion. Goes for the dash forward first. That cooldown is bleeding, right? And he goes for this arc here, grabs the slow, forces the flash, gets his dash back at the last possible second. Dashed first, he gets it right at the end.
Knocked away. Yeah, well, Braum is just, okay, we've got a little bit more of an engage here towards the bottom side. As now Ruler may immediately get punished, does have the barrier, some sidesteps come through, public execution, and he puts Ruler down. Duro not able to find the Winter's Bite this time. Owner not in the area, just finishes the Sundered Sky, but Canyon already had that one in his back pocket, so feeling pretty good. And utilizing that Sundered Sky window to grab the Drake. So that is going to be 2 objectives taken here by Gen.G, just 1 more to lock down that portion of the feats of strength, and there it is, guys. And Chovy and Faker will be still ping-ponging some waves here. The Rift Herald now down to about 4,000 as Gumayusi Carrier in the area. A bit of a rotation down. The Keeper's Verdict comes through, but it's immediately buffered by the ulti from Canyon, and the heroic entrance comes down there as well. Justice Punch, fantastic, but the Yunara is dead. They've taken down the Poppy, but that is not enough value, and Keen will be wiped out as well. Doran continues the fight. This guy's Ambessa is absolutely absurd as he picks up the triple. Can it be the quadra? He's tanking up the turret, and he will allow Ona to pick up the kill, although Chovy may not. So he's just going to get himself out of there, but he is the last man standing. Yeah, Doran is now a huge problem for Gen.G. 4-0-1, 1.7k gold lead just for himself. And the first Cloud Drake will go over to T1 here.
Doesn't even have to flash in the exchange. Carrier getting huge value out of the Keeper's Verdict there to save the play. Now Owner's here and Duro's left alone.
Yep, he's going to put down the door, tries to flash his way out, but there's a teleport coming in. Ulti from Duro coming on through here, and I think they know that this Braum is dead. Keen still going to go in, but Faker's teleport. Now Keen is in so much trouble. Ruler comes down, protects with a Slurkle. And that is going to be it. Oh, never mind the edge of the shockwave, and it's a double kill for Faker on this Orianna.
Saves the ultimate for so long, knows he doesn't need it for the initial kill. T1 now poised to take this mid turret, are running away with game 1 of the series.
Yep, you've got Chovy now rotating down, but that will be feats of strength. Oh, never mind. Gen.G did lock down feats of strength by taking the top outer turret while we were speaking. But still, being able to break open the mid lane, a huge deal. Chovy now lying in wait in this brush.
Control vision in the pit, and they're just very aware that this is not going to be a possibility for them, and they're just going to instead try to look for a collapse on the Doran. But look at how much defensive vision he has here. He's just going to completely let this wave push in. He's going to back away, and it will be just a scuttle crab in exchange here for Gen.G. Give it to Ruler. He picks up 100 gold off of that, and starting Otacon is a risky endeavor, but they're going to try it. They're going to try to pull T1 in. They are going to get Faker's teleport for this.
Yep, that's what they're looking for here, I guess, is the teleport is going to come on through. Keen finds the hookshot angle. There's a Hextech ultimatum. He delivers the gargoyle on top. Gumayusi taken down immediately. Now Carrier is going to turn up as Ona with that Crescent Guard is looking for Keen and will be able to find him. It's a 1-for-1 80 carry for top lane, but T1 still looking for more in the 4v4. Carrier dives forward, but Duro is able to get himself out of there with all of his summoner spells.
In Otacon control.
Yeah, Canyon is just on the Krugs and Keen's in the bottom lane. So this Artican is it just belongs to T1 and Gen.G are not going to contest. So dropping the ball a little bit when it comes to being able to hold on to these objectives here. And T1 can also then augment that with this outer turret. Gen.G just bleeding all over the place. Haven't been able to find a team fight that works for them way in there. And then it sort of fizzled out. So didn't have the access to that for the next target in the fight. Very
really
cute.
High value blue trinket here that actually identified that Doran got off the dragon. They then scried where he was and came over here while pulling T1 to the Baron. And Gen.G just quite literally ran a circle around T1, playing around Vision really well.
1,000 gold at 30 minutes into the game.
And the turn off of Baron is kind of awkward for T1. It's going to be so reliant.
Oh, yeah. Public execution comes down. The flash forward from Keen, and Doran gets over the wall, but Keen follows him with the ulti. Canyon comes down, but I think this would have been a solo kill for the Camille, and I'm pretty sure she's online, but the jungler was in the bottom lane.
And that means they just have to hard send it in the bottom lane and try to get as many turrets as they can. They're going for mid first, and they're going to try to get that bottom outer as well.
Yep, the Baron comes up. The catch from the ulti out of Duro is fantastic, but the rest of the cavalry are turning up, and the outer turret is still getting worked on. Faker's still alive. Down goes Canyon as Chovy's heroic entrance doesn't look exactly like that, but Keen is still a monster. The Crescent Guard comes in from Owner, but he still goes down. Double taunt from Chovy, and the Winds of War will be able to take another one down from the grave. Faker is going to be able to shut him out, but Gen.G get rid of so many Barons. Its minions are looking difficult for Gen.G to do anything about, as Canyon charging that Vault Breaker. The engaged Braum comes in from Duro as they're looking to split these fights, but Canyon is so difficult to deal with. Doran getting into that backline though, as now Ruler's doing his best to kite him out, and the public execution is ignorable, and now Chovy finds 3. Justice for Owner as it's a double for Canyon, and the Gen.G freight train is burning down the bottom lane as Ruler picks up his 3,000th assist, and I have a feeling the Camille's scaled in this game.
I think so. Down goes Guma. It's the full clean ace of T1.
Leo poke. What the heck was that about?
Big damage.
It's actually doing a fair bit of work here as Keen finds the angle. He gets on top of Owner, but it's Ruler's damage that we need to be wary of. And he takes down Doran. The Crescent Guard comes in, but Chovy just says, no, you're not allowed to engage. Duro and Canyon dealing with Owner off to the side, and the rest of the fight is going to be there as Keen gets out of the way of Faker, and Faker will overextend, unfortunately. Chovy able to take that one down. Steadfast presence just doesn't feel very steadfast at this stage of the game, and Gen.G just think, nah, it's not really about the Dragon when we can kill a Nexus and take game 1.
I think the eyes were for Dragon. T1 get caught by the Keen flank, and their eyes are now for Nexus. Is Keen so far behind this game? How many games is this guy going to be? Like, remember his game was 1-4 on Gwen, and just pops off later. This guy is taken over.
Well, Carrier now trying to be a hero, but that charge ain't going to work. Guma just dies in the blink of an eye, and the Nexus will explode. Gen.G looked, they gave up so much in this game. They looked down and out, and are able to turn it around and pick up game 1 in this best of 5. And if all the games are like this, I might die.
I'm probably going to get a little bit deeper into that when we get into the game itself, because this is just draft versus draft here. But at this point for Gen.G, I think you really need to snowball this game early, and the Kiana needs to be a massive threat for the entirety of the game. Pivot across the LCK towards that. His owner is
the level
3 Jarvan.
That's a bit scary. Hebapol does bring Carrier in there as we started off the fight. Gen.G get the information, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough as the flash out from Duro. The flash forward, the sidestep is not good enough, and that is first blood. The Jarvan just gets it done every game.
Canyon going to go over here with the ward he has and actually start to steal some of these camps away. This is a great way to play the Kiana. It's just hard farm. Don't interact with lanes.
Oh, God.
Not again.
Bottom lane getting absolutely punished. The teleport in from Faker towards his bottom side as Gumyushi does have to flash, as Deadly Flourish will be avoided. The force shot not going to be enough, and he just reloads at him and dies.
And that's another huge win here for T1. See, Owner is rotating around here. grabbed first grub and is now actually looking to try to take Ruler out of the picture here. Has Cataclysm.
Yep, Carrier is going to ult early, picks up the aggro, and the barrier not quite going to be enough there, as there are feats of warfare picked up, as Faker in a little bit of trouble here trying to rotate up to help out, as Molten Shield from Chovy comes in. Oh, the final auto is not enough to lock down the kill!
For its cost. But yeah, we just keep dropping bears.
Yep. And Ruler tried to go for the invisible Deadly Flourish. Doesn't quite work out there. As Doran, this time with no flash, and he is just dead. That was a supreme display of nothing that he could have done about it.
Yep. And that's a good Kiana ult. Okay.
Yeah, nailing the first one. There we go.
1 for 1 so far, and that's putting her a little bit further accelerated in this game.
As there's the Cataclysm onto Chovy. Remember, he used that flash earlier on. He's trying to get Tibbers to get some value here, but it's just not going to work out. That's a very strong Jarvan to take down the Annie Canyon a little bit slow. Yeah. Picking this one up, they'll take themselves the plate. Is a risk, because he can just press R on you.
Again!
As, yeah, another bear comes down, and another knock-up comes on through here from Owner as Chovy. Just free food for Faker. That's 5-1 in advantage here for T1. Another bear comes down here as the Rune Prison comes on in. Owner moving back though, so Canyon is going to back away. Some spell flux connects, but otherwise not too much more. The flash 4, and it's going to be the bear coming down. Faker will be punished as Carrier comes on through. Owner just gets out of there though, protecting that shutdown gold. And Carrier is going to have to flash, but I just don't know whether that's going to be enough as he's running, and that is going to be able to get him to safety. Guma was just left alone though, with this bottom out of turrets.
For the side of T1, Canyon of course starts this dragon up. Owner does have flash and could look for a steal potential here. Duro's holding the gate though, not allowing him to get in. Guma comes over, really greedy here.
Yep, that is going to be the dragon coming on through. No Zenith Blade to land here from Duro, who is a bit far up, but it isn't going to be too much of an issue. But every time Gen.G are going for something, there's someone on T1 breaking their stuff.
Exactly, so this Herald now.
And this is going to be a difficult one for Gen.G to contest. Deadly Flourish onto Carrier, but he's not too worried about that. Has the Unbreakable Will, as now Canyon looking for an angle. He's getting in amongst it. The curtains have been called as he flashes out of the way of the Cataclysm. Duro going down very low. Gumayushi doing so much work. T1's health bars are getting lower. Keen right in amongst it, but Chovy not quite doing enough. Ruler just getting soloed out by Doran, and he will be able to finish that one off. Chovy in the back of the pit is just dead to the bullets of Guma, and T1 are just running the rift. Outside of Keen being quite frustrating, but he'll be zombified and taken out himself. A monstrous win here for T1.
In this team fight, Guma's untouched. Massive value with his ultimate, and just his straight up auto attacks do a ton of work here. He's 3,000 gold ahead now. CC or lockdown. The Jarvan side, he's got tons of mobility, great CC. Now as Sundered Skies had it for a long time, and Owner is super fed in this game, and they're going to get this mid turret. T1's third turret of the game.
On this Aatrox right now, level 12 and 2-1-0. He's got a little bit of a gold advantage against the Scion now as well, as Duro is dead. Faker Realm Warps in, but it is just going to be the kill going over to Owner. And, I mean, this is much worse than the gold lead.
Yeah, this game. And Gen.G are just so far behind the 8-ball. Like, Duro keeps getting caught, just trying to get any semblance of vision, as Faker may be caught.
Well, the flash is going to come on through. Double teleports invested, as Owner is going to find Canyon here. There's the headbutt over the wall. Ruler in so much trouble. Deadly Flourish goes wide, and he is just dead, ladies and gentlemen. It looked like it was going to be a play from Gen.G, but T1 just turned it on its head.
Another ult from Canyon that just completely does nothing in the attempt to try to peel for his teammates there, but Carrier's flank. Chef's Kiss on this Alistar, 8 out of 11 KP this game. He has run it from start to finish. The rift belongs to him and all of these fed T1 members as Faker takes a gold lead over Chovy. Outside of a small side laning Annie here for Chovy. As it looks like initially like, oh, Faker's caught, but this is the traditional Faker overextending question mark. Haha, now we win the fight, we've baited you in.
Triple TP, everyone teleporting into the fight, and Carrier just takes the AD carry, and Ruler, I mean, I don't think he started playing the game, but he's definitely not going to play the game in this one.
As they give Otacon up, they're going to get the Constellation turret here. They're scaling.
Yeah.
Just don't know if they should be. They're so far behind.
Oh, Deadly Flourish comes on in. It is going to be Otacon picked up by T1 very, very soon, but Gen.G are at least getting something for it.
Yeah, I mean, if they get double turret, that's a lot of gold, actually, over to Gen.G.
They will be losing this inner turret towards the top side of the map, so I don't see it necessarily being a phenomenal outcome.
It's not.
Does take this.
It's not losing the game outright by trying to fight on Otacon, so keeps them in this game, so to speak. They're still 5,000 gold behind, and it's not a trade up, but I mean they got Chovy some money.
Is a little bit more lucrative. That's what I'm learning here today.
Duro.
As Duro's going to face check, he has to be the one to do so, and unfortunately he's dead. Very dead. If there were certain degrees of dead, he would be one of the high degrees of dead from that one. That's what I'm expecting. But also, it's doing a lot of winning in the LPL, right? Like, we know that it can win.
In other regions where they play very differently, I think it's very strong.
For the upcoming fight, Baron going to be on the minds of T1. They're doing their very best to lock down vision control. There is a cute little ward here in this brush, giving Gen.G a little bit of information as in goes Owner. Deadly Flourish just to spot what's happening in that brush there, but it looks like Gen.G are not going to be face-checking just yet.
Okay, this is...
Oh dear, never mind, maybe they will go in. There's the Zenith Blade from Duro. He didn't really want to be there, and Owner is going to be able to take him down. The Supreme Display of Talent is decent, but not quite good enough, as down goes Tippers as well. Chovy doing battle against Faker here, who flashes to pick up the kill on his opponent mid laner. And now Keen finds his way into the fight, and he's going to take the death exit this time around after being a zombie for just a little while, and the curtains are not being called for Ruler. I think they will actually be called for Ruler, as now Owner is going to be making his way over and looking to try and take him down. The Realm Warp comes in. The Flag and Drag doesn't do too much of anything as the Aatrox delivery comes on through. And Gumayushi's like, guys, why don't we just win the game?
They're helping and keeping the players from going back so they can win the game. That's what's happening. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a little bit of something like that. As they're doing their very best to kite Doran around here, who doesn't actually get the heal from the redemption, as Canyon looking to block off the next two that are making their way over. Deadly Flourish is decent here, as this is some yakety sacks coming on through here, as Canyon trying to get himself out. They have regrouped though, and in comes the cow! Carrier gonna be able to deliver a double kill over to Gumayushi, and that was a weird little passage of play, but ultimately it's going to be even more winning for T1 as it's given players like Duro the opportunity to respawn before they win this game.
It almost feels like a psychological warfare move here from T1 as they just smash them over and over again before the Nexus falls.
Yeah.
And Atlas, we knew we would, but we have a series on our hands now.
It was already all over our hands after game number one, and it is now being confirmed as T1 will make this one a best of three. Game 2, Owner on Jarvan.
And Gen.G's draft has a lot of pick potential and a lot of frontline with this Gwen, so the Xayah can come online. But I think you, once again, kind of have to control the game from start to finish. Otherwise, the Sivir scaling kind of gets out of control.
In about a minute. But the Dragon has been somewhat ignored for now.
This top side is just continuing to be an issue for Keen. Like, the deficit, it's not massive, but it gets like it's a little bit bigger every wave, it feels like here, as Doran is now having this wave pushing over. Faker does have his ult, and they could look for a play. Keen potentially caught.
Yep, there's the counter-strike. It's actually going to get the value here as the seismic shove pushes him back. No flash available, and there's first blood going over to Doran's Jax. In 2017.
That should be Dragon in exchange here for T1, you have to think. His owner is clearing his jungle on his way over to that full control they have on the bottom side. TP is going to come through from Keen, who was holding the mid wave here, but so many plates, like you said, go over, and they get the Dragon. So still sit on that 400 gold lead, and I think Gen.G really want to be ahead in this game quite significantly at this stage, and they're not.
Yeah, nice little charm is going to connect onto Faker here, but he's throwing a whole lot of rocks around. Actually flashes to get out of the way of this Grand Starfall from Canyon, and they look for the dive. There's the flash stun, and they lock down the kill. Still, Canyon is going to be taken out, so a 1-for-1 from the GOAT outside of the top outer turret. Regardless, still going to be able to get Faker the 1-for-1 trade. It does mean that Faker is off the map and isn't able to pick up that top outer turret. Wave that did crash into the turret, so still going to be working out relatively well for Gen.G.
Still worth for them. Just very impressive from Faker.
Yep. It's always good to appreciate. As Canyon is going to face check and isn't feeling fantastic about it. On the hunt is Gumayushi. His ruler going to rotate over, but it's mainly just to watch this Pantheon die. And so Canyon's woes continuing here.
Now Faker's looking for a Weaver's Wall.
Yep, Ruler might need to hold here as the seismic shove is going to pick him up. Let's see whether the Pop Blossom is going to come on through. There it is. Duro going to have to flash out of the way, though the rocks go wide. But still, that is double ultis on cooldown.
Plus
as well
flash.
As a flash for this Nico.
Even a heal. Keen is going to try to get some value here in the side lane with 3 grubs on this Gwen. Will be answered by a teleport. He got some damage done. He wasn't able to get the significant punch back they were looking for. I think we have to acknowledge that, but otherwise he's a man possessed today.
Yeah. And Doran going to look for a little bit of an angle here. Gets the ulti out of Chovy. Actually a big deal, as he's not going to be resetting in any fights coming on up, as Double Dragon being considered here by T1. Got a little bit close to an Earth, Wind, and Fire. Thankfully, we do have an angle for it, as it's another Ocean Soul, second in a row. And that's Feats of Strength locked in for T1 as well.
Same time, we won't see Faker commit for this one, but the Herald dropped in mid with this wave here. It should just be a trade of turrets. Doran does lose his flash, but it's not really a trade up for Gen.G, and the game state for them is not where they want it to be.
Oh dear.
And this is going to be a collapse for sure.
Yeah, there's a Rift Herald on our way down here, as Faker is going to try and shove Keen. It doesn't quite work out here, as the Rift Herald is just going to bypass. They pick up the turret, and now the Cyclone on top of the Gwen. No way for him to get out of that, and that is just Owner once again. Oh, your turret. When there is no minion wave. So a little bit unfortunate there for Keen, but still was overextended and did see Owner get back into that Rift Herald, so it's likely that he was heading somewhere down, as he's looking to do the play one more time, this time without the Cyclone, but we'll see whether that actually matters as the Weaver's Wall comes down. Charm is going to miss, and Chovy has to eat so many rocks and has to flash, as now the turnaround potentially coming in here as Keen looking for the angle, wanting revenge onto this Talia. As the needlework comes out, Chovy finds the Charm, as Gumayusi finds himself so far away from the rest of his team, but maybe that's part of the play as they go 2 for 1. I guess the backline ganking Sivir kind of worked out.
No, absolutely worked out in the end. I think Guma thought he has priced into it. He's going to go for the play regardless. Except from Doran, he may have to TP in. If we see Gen.G look for the Otacon startup, Keen does a ton of damage, even just on one item here. The Gwen is just going to help rush this down, so T1 have to be quick on the rotation. I think Doran will have to TP in very quickly here. There it is, the top side.
Yep, Owner's going to be moving in. I mean, T1 have full information as to what's going on here, and Keen's already down to 50% health. Ruler trying to get some damage down. Gen.G are going to be looking for the turn as Owner moves on over, and now Chovy looking for the angle. Pop Blossom connects, finds only one as Faker flashes his way out. Doran avoids all of the feathers so beautifully, and it's the Nico that goes down first. The Wukong steals away the Otacon. Of course Owner does. The man's playing like a beast today. Keen does manage to find the value, and now it's Ruler's turn to pop off as Canyon trying to run his way out. The seismic shove doesn't find the angle, but he still jumps onto a rock as Doran's so scary. Finds the empower, takes down the Pantheon, and it's Chovy and Ruler left alive in the end. But the Otacon goes to T1.
Yeah, the Otacon goes to T1. Canyon was on the left side of that fight, and it was a Gwen versus a Wukong there in the Otacon exchange, so advantage jungler in that case.
Great play from T1, really showing the value of Talia in these team fights.
This looks like what the Legend Group games all looked like for so much of rounds 3 to 5, where if you get a small lead,
you see a team fight once again between these two squads. The only one that we've had in this game feels like that Otacon fight that did go T1's way. Owner on such a good team fighting champion here as well. He has been in such good form today.
Ruler and Keen have to do so much heavy lifting in this fight. Keen does have that arm guard he was able to buy. Will really help him out. Same to be said of Doran, of course, but that Gwen damage is going to be massive if you can get just a little bit of time.
Oh, Chovy off on a flank angle. Does get the Warrior Trickster out of Owner, but it's not a massive cooldown. Seismic Shove going to go wide this time. Canyon able to walk that one off. Gen.G with control of the river for the moment as Doran gets charmed up. But there's the Cyclone. Into the backline goes Owner, but he's kind of alone and hasn't really used his ultimate for much. Does flash to get himself to safety. As in goes Doran now. He will go golden, but this is so disjointed, and Keen is going to get on top of Gumayusi. Goes golden himself by so much space, but where's the follow-up? Keen just runs and will get shoved back towards Faker and takes a huge rock. That is going to be the dragon secured with the feather pullback, and now I think Doran may eventually die, although no, he doesn't. He has leap strike, so he's just fine.
Meaning a lot of pressure, but not a whole lot of really big team fights, but this is going to be one of them.
Yep. Ruler with 4 items complete as well, like that Bloodthirster on top of everything. He is very, very frightening and can now play a whole lot more aggressively with that extra shield, with the extra lifesteal. But that is going to be a phenomenal shot. Chovy has to go golden at the beginning of this fight as now Doran looking for the angle, tries to get the counter-strike, but they take down Chovy. That's the biggest part of it. Faker gets into the back line. Duro just melting so incredibly quickly. Keen goes golden, but I don't think he's surviving for much longer, and Ona will finish off the Gwen. The entire top side are destroyed. Ruler and Duro not knowing what to do next as they destroy the team fight.
It's a smash win in the team fight for T1. The shoves from Faker, the Talia has just been out of control this game, and now just a lone bot duo trying to defend against this massive push from T1 to bring themselves to match point.
Let's see whether they can actually finish it here as Doran going in, flashes forward to get on top of Ruler, and of course the seismic shove there. This game is over, ladies and gentlemen, and T1 have match point now for the next 2 games at least.
When you're looking at the draft here from T1, sure, the Varus has a lot of range, but you can just simply overwhelm him with all the frontline you have, even if you catch the Rek'Sai or a Silas with the Blitzcrank hook. You have hook
as Doran is just traveling through all of these tunnels. At the same time, Keria looking a little worse for wear as T1 looking to take down the Keen Sante, and that is going to be first blood over to Ona, and he should be able to survive. In the meantime, trying to get back through yet another tunnel, and Doran is just making them look silly, getting so much of the health back as well as he tunnels underground. Another tunnel going to be used. Man, he's like a kid playing on an elevator as finally he gets slammed into the wall and taken down, but he's claimed so many flashes and made them look silly. Oh, and Canyon going for the full wraparound here as Doran, let's see whether he can survive this as the tunnel comes on through. Duro still looking for the hook and manages to get him yet again. But I just don't know whether it's quite going to be enough because he gets underneath the turret. Will the Ren stacks come through? And yes, they will. Duro survives. And it's a second kill on to Doran in that top lane. In the meantime, though, the Dragon does go over to T1, and the Keen Sante is once again under threat. Yeah. The cucumber situation.
So the game state here is pretty even between these two teams. But for Gen.G, at least the Kalista has a kill now. That's where you really need to start getting online for this draft to work. The Cassiopeia can scale into a big damage threat later on, especially with this composition as, Chovy may get caught.
Yeah, Destiny does come in. Miasma is down. Good position there as well as Faker is just going to get picked up and taken down, but it is a counter ult here from Ona. Still the Fate's call to keep Duro safe. The flash over from Chovy. There's that killer instinct we've been looking for, and it's 2 on the floor for T1. Gen.G looking for even more as the blast cone from Canyon picks up a rock, and Keria finds himself in a very awkward spot. Ruler able to find it, and that is another hook landing here from Duro. Ruler just lets Keria melt.
They had so many tools to turn it around. Owner's counter ult was actually almost enough to save it, but not quite there in the end. The Fate's call comes through, so pick that one up.
Doesn't quite have his flash available, so it's a bit of a scary one. Is the hook going to connect? Duro! Oh man, this young player playing very well, but it's a great handshake here from Keria, just not enough to deal with the Impale, and this Renata pick-away is being punished. Really like robots.
I mean,
is that a thing?
The Blitzcrank color scheme kind of fits Gen.G's colors, you know?
Hey, there we go.
A little golden tint to it. This game state is looking worse every moment here for T1 as
to snowball this one through. Of course, 13.5 minutes, only 1,500 gold as the Destiny comes on through here. Canyon in a lot of trouble as he flashes over the wall. The Impale going to be avoided as Keen looking to try and duel Doran here, but it's a lot of damage out from Guma to help the Rek'Sai pick up the kill. And the flash hook! And it's going to be both of these top laners going down. The bailout not quite going to work here as the Impale comes through at the same time. Gumayusi is on the warpath, but so is Chovy. Finds the overextended Varus, and now it's Ona throwing chains around, but they are not going to do anything. More information about that happening. See whether they can actually get in a position to contest. As Canyon going to drive on in, gets himself over the wall. It will be a 50-50, but it's Ona that wins it. Duro still hunting, looking for a bit of a target. Hostile takeover comes in as Ona goes golden. Keen right in amongst it. The double knock up from Doran's fantastic. He's being bailed out as well as Keen somehow survives. There is no way that he should be allowed to do that, and down goes Ona. Once again, every team fight is just Gen.G all the way.
Yeah, and T1 feel priced into these. They feel like they're behind. They do not want to just give up every objective, especially when you consider this mid turret is so low already. This is going to go over to Gen.G. They cannot find a hook angle here, though.
Yeah, the Destiny is going to come down. They're going to look for Canyon, or at least look to tell him to leave, as he gets a fair bit of rock value. Oh, the hook onto Faker! Duro finds another one! And the attempted bailouts, but it's just too expensive. He's not leaving the police station this time. Down goes another kill, and it's a double for Ruler, making 5-0-4 now.
And a moment ago, I said it's the lead you're looking for Gen.G.
In Australia. But we do have something.
This angle here from Duro. Watch this.
Yep. Oh my.
He's like, I got him. And like the angle made it almost look like he missed, but he's just gets him there just on the edge. And then they get slow from the Q here from the Skarner. Canyon helps him take out and back. And this is Gen.G grabbing another dragon here. It's Mountain Soul with the Cassante in the tank. Carrier on Renata. He's like, I'm so scared. Duro's like, I'm waiting for you.
Yep.
Here you are.
There he is, special delivery, and he will get some extra time with the bailout, but not very much. Chains of Corruption come in. That is an attempted steal opportunity here, but just slammed against the wall. The Otacon getting amongst it at the same time, and that is going to be Otacon secured by Canyon. He gets a casual kill at the same time. Double over to Ruler, and now Faker finds the gold card. Hook is going to miss, but the Twisted Fate surviving does not help.
T1 as Gen.G look to set up.
Oh my, another one! Duro, it's okay. From now on, every single game, teams, they need to ban Blitzcrank. He hasn't even been prioritizing this champion. He's so good at it.
It's like Carry has to be the one to check, right? But
yeah,
like, you're playing not into Blitzcrank, which is why this is such a great pick from ahead. And that's why I said in the draft, I'm like, this is such a confident match point on the line. LCK Finals on the line.
Well, Duro's going to get a flash as he wanders on over. Trophy going to get ganked by multiple people. Petrifying gazes all over the place. But Gumayusi gets the shutdown, and an important one at that. 1,100 gold.
Plus,
they will trade their inhibitor turret for it.
Yeah, maybe some bounty gold picked up here, but this turret's so healthy. They have no wave. Canyon helps clear out the rest of that, so...
Canyon be damaged. Okay, maybe he can now as the Destiny coming in on top of everything. Gumayusi starting to get some shots over. As Canyon just drives his way out. Gumayusi still hunting for it. He flashes into the enemy base, gets impaled. Now he's in turret range. Duro comes over, and Canyon, yeah, he's a tank.
You gotta try something. I mean, you gotta try something.
That's called reading the room, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, he almost got him. By the way, if there was going to be a contest, which there wouldn't be, you have to fight through Ren stacks and Smite.
Yeah, no, you're not going to... It's not a 50-50 in this case.
They won the early game. That Varus is not online, as we saw in the base.
Canyon almost... Okay, just finds the impale onto Gumayusi somehow! And obviously he's going to survive with over a third health. Yes, reading the room. I'm going to try and read the room as well.
I'm like, you and I wanted game 5, and we get our wish.
Yes, yes. This is going to be the inner turret taken down here. Without Gumayusi, there is not a way to defend.
We've seen in playoffs,
yeah, and
19 out of 20.
Oh god, another hook! And it even caught Jonas Strong by surprise as Doran just goes down. Ona now dancing around behind the Baron pit, but Keen, he's a bouncer. He's going to try and stop him. Ona might be able to get in, but it's not going to be the steal. It's somehow Cassiopeia that actually gets it as the hook finally won. I see it miss. Good sidestep there from Carrier. Does it matter? No. Extra space.
Carrier is still running away, by the way, in the top lane.
Oh, okay. Well, Keen will find him. So there we go. Bought some time.
Yeah.
Things are getting a little silly here, ladies and gentlemen.
On you as we go to Silver's Grace. Momentum is completely Gen.G's now in this series. Did this with Red Side. The Callista pick worked a treat. I wanted to say I trusted them for the confidence in it, but I thought maybe we were just going to end here and Gen.G say no. Ruler 8-0-8 on his iconic Callista.
And for me, this whole game is just Duro. This guy on this Blitzcrank just incredible. I think that Canyon has come back alive, Chovy's come back alive, but Duro is just a man possessed on this robot. Let's see whether he can find another hook as they do get the knock-up onto Ruler. Take him down immediately. The Impale is only onto one. Chovy still there for the DPS, but T1 finding kill after kill as Chovy, oh, the handshake is fantastic. Owner is going to get taken down, but they take out the Cassiopeia. Can Canyon be damaged? Is still a question that we're all asking, and Gumayusi, he might be able to answer it. He does have the bailout, and as it turns out, no, he cannot be damaged. Canyon is immortal. He finds more rocks, and now he's just going to get to work, trying to use this lawnmower to take down Faker, not the Nexus. All three of them weren't enough, and the Scorpion will bring us to Silver Scrapes.
Canyon's got a heart of steel at the end of this game. Gets the kill on Guma, the snipe just before. With the Nocturne and the Lucian is trying to blow up a single target with her ult and Canyon's ult. They should be able to find if her ultimate hits the target, then blow it up with the Lucian follow-up. They have the Ornn as well.
Faker is allowed to go home.
Chovy did get a extra back off during all of that. Now the wave is pushing towards him as Ornn is caught.
This is not where he really wanted to go for the honey fruit, and Chovy is right in position. Doesn't quite find the Q, and does find the ulti to pick up the kill there. Gumayusi the safety.
Yeah, stop that brittle proc.
Yeah.
Canyon's going to get this dragon, but it's going to be an exchange here, 1-for-1 with the grubs. There's a Chemtech dragon, so pretty high value to grab this one early. Means that chances are the soul will be more impactful. Again, could still be like an ocean. We'll find out momentarily whether we'll know what that second dragon is.
Triple grub
Triple
Ziggs,
grub for Ziggs, plus, you know, the side laning Jace. This is not a strong side laning composition here for Gen.G, but getting the insane scaling game here from the draft that we see from Gen.G. I think they are going to be fighting a lot. It's going to be a lot of tension, and it starts now.
Paranoia comes down. The Nature's Grasp does come on through, but it is so much damage onto the Lilia, and she just gets obliterated. Carrier now finding himself in an awkward spot as Chovy flashes over to pick up the feats of warfare, and even there's trains coming into the top side of the map. Doran to try and boop Keen away. Keen just trying to have fun like the rest of his friends.
On the reset, by the way, Guma and Carrier, with those three grubs, are going to get a whole turret!
Okay, there is his first turret. This is what Ziggs is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Somewhere, Orcs is like, oh man, they want to get that culling over the top. They want Ruler to be able to actually fight in close range.
This is my favorite type of draft disparity, as we're going to see another attempt to get Keen here, just thwarted by rotation up. He's going to try to turn this around.
Yep, looking for the train. They will be able to knock up Doran, but the Nature is grasping. Knocked back, great satchel there from Gumayusi, but the quickness is so good as well. Chovy over to the top, and it is going to be the Drake being taken by Canyon, and somehow all of Gen.G does survive.
If they're going to not let this Herald go over, they are going to have to be on set attack right now.
Yeah, they don't have the quickness though. Duro missing that ability to engage, and it does look like T1 should be able to grab this, and there it goes.
Okay, Faker potentially collapsed on.
Let's see what Gen.G can actually get done here as he does bring back the soul, but there's the paranoia. The fear comes on through. Mega Inferno Bomb to try and offer some damage back, but it's not going to be enough. Faker is just going to get taken out. Gen.G do find their man into the play. As Chovy looks for a bit of an angle there. Redemption for some support onto Doran, and that is going to be out of turret picked up. The Ziggs just doing precisely what he wants to do. So, I mean, if you're ever going to put all your eggs in a basket, probably go with that one.
If it says Chovy on it, it's a pretty good basket.
Yeah, good basket. That one. As Nature's Grasp coming on in here, it's a big commitment. Mega Inferno Bomb onto said Chovy, but he isn't going to get taken down just yet. Now the paranoia, now the re-engage, and Doran is just dead. Still these health bars from Gen.G are so low. Canyon having to get himself out of there, and Owner just spins on top of this Rakan. Canyon somehow lives for so incredibly long. Gumayusi is so healthy as well. Somehow, it's a Gen.G advantage in the fight.
He went to try to trap him there and blow him up with that combo. Little foiling that could not.
And it is the dot going to be enough to take down the turret on that top side. So the entire outer ring has now been removed. What is going to come of this? The upcom has been started.
And he's just going to buy an item before he goes in.
Yeah, Redemption coming on through. That is going to give them the information that this has been taken. as there are a lot of presents, but they're not being woken up as Chovy off to the side. Faker comes on in, there's the paranoia, they're looking to try and turn this. Chovy lands the ult, gets in there, and both of the carries just get destroyed as Lilia and Yone go down. Doran tries to get out, but now Carrier not going to be so lucky. Feats of strength come in as well for Gen.G as they take the Otacon.
Soul point in this game. When we first saw the Chemtech Dragon, we were like, we don't know what soul it's going to be. It's an Ornn, again, with Mountain Soul. Another Mountain Soul game here for Gen.G, and
oh my,
they have Soul Point with the ornaments and the Mountain Soul. Makes that late game feel a lot more palpable than it did before. It felt like before you're like, oh, 1,000 goldie, that's nowhere near enough with this draft, but
I'm not going to be invested into this or anything like that. As Canyon moves over, watch out, Eep there from Ona. Will do a fair bit of damage, but doesn't quite find the pirouette as Bowling Ball collected there by Canyon, who does take a little bit of a nap, but not hit by the sweet spot of that one. Redemption does come on down here as Paranoia coming on through yet again. Ruler finding the angles there, and Chovy connects so many ultis. There's the fear onto Faker. He's unable to actually make his way forward as Duro not going to finish off Doran, who is on his last legs in this fight. The ulti from Faker comes through, but it's onto Keen, and he's basically immortal on this on. Ona still able to get some work done, though, as now he's spinning around this battle. Keen just headbutts Doran to get him out of there, and Canyon and Chovy, the last men standing on their side, whereas it's Gumayusi Ona holding down the fort for T1.
How much poke can they land before Gen.G start this dragon up is the real question. Keen?
Yeah, how good is this sleep going to be as well? There's a knock up and Carrier just dies! Mega in front of him, also not able to do anything! As Gen.G, they did push the paranoia button, but now the redemption comes down. They're basically full health, and the ulti connects onto Guma! He gets feared, and you can understand why he's scared, because this Gen.G are on the warpath in this game. Faker gets over the wall, but Chovy is lurking, and he will be able to finish off the Yone. The resets come on in, he finds the ult, he finds the Q, and there's the double kill for the Vex.
From taking this one down, they give him no entry, no angle, and Gen.G might have just done it. It's only a 3,000 goldie, but with this comp and the Baron they have, the standing gold you mentioned is going to be massive.
Ulti just barely missing on Aguma there, who does have a fair bit of wave clear, but unfortunately against Baroned up minions, the Ziggs loses a whole lot of that power.
Chovy and Canyon
still looking a bit absent, Canyon as well. This is what happens when Gen.G are firing on all cylinders. As the train has left the station, there's a knock-up onto Carrier. This tree not lasting very long. The knock-up immediately afterwards onto Doran as well, as Keen manages to find that angle, and now Chovy is lurking, looking for the ulti. This time he connects it. The ult from Faker to try and pick him up though, but unfortunately these wallets be heavy, and down goes the Ziggs with no response.
They clear the wave, they buy themselves some time in this game, and they're certainly going to need it. 40 seconds on this Ziggs, 30 on the Jace, and the map is falling around them with this Baron buff wave coming through. It's just a matter of time before this base is cracked open. Looks like Gen.G might have their opportunity for revenge on KT, and potentially then revenge on Hanwha for the Summer Finals in 2024. One last opportunity to defend for T1.
Bit of a faceplant here from Keen, but we'll see whether they actually have the damage to take him down. I don't even think Nexus turrets are really doing anything to this on. First Nexus turret will be taken out as T1 clearing out the wave, and with everyone respawning and some lower health bars, it looks like Gen.G are trying to get themselves out of their Faker. Going forward though, looking for an angle. Bowling Ball's connecting as Ona doesn't quite have the lilting lullaby, and it's a flank TP angle from a Ziggs. Chovy is going to find him, but this health bar is so... Oh my god, he just died in an instant! He walked around a corner and just... Chovy went boo! And he's dead!
And that's the end of it!
Oh my god, Faker is now taking so much damage. The train drives on through there. They're getting the fears. Ona's going to be taken down, and the Nexus will follow. Gen.G will avoid the play-ins, and you will see the MSI defending champs at the Inspire Arena.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.